Today's recipe is chicken and gravy over mashed potatoes. This is a great recipe to use up some extra chicken and to be very budget friendly in what you're spending on this food. You'll need 3 large potatoes, 2 cups chicken broth, 6 tablespoons butter, 1/4 cup flour, 1/3 cup onion diced, 2 cups chicken cooked and diced, 4 cloves of garlic minced, and salt and pepper to taste. Start by peeling your potatoes. You want to get all the peels off and then give them a rinse. Make sure there's no dirt on them. And then the next step, we're going to go ahead and cut the potatoes into chunks. They don't have to be small, just really cutting it in half. I cut it in half a second time, and then just sort of slice a couple inches a piece. So we're making them smaller so that they will cook a little bit quicker. Then I'm making my mashed potatoes in my Instapot. It's a hot summer day, don't really want to run my stove so much. So I'm going to throw them in my Instapot on manual for about 10 minutes. Alternatively, if you wanted to do this on a pot of water on the stove to boil, you sure could. I'm going to add some seasoning to my Instapot. So I'm going to add garlic, salt, and pepper, and then about 1 cup of water. That will allow my Instapot to bring up to pressure. If you're making these in a pot on the stove, simply cook them in water first, drain the water, and then add those seasonings. In another pot over the stove, go ahead and melt the butter. Once the butter is melted, add in your diced onion and cook for about 5 minutes until that onion begins to soften. Once the onion is softened, then you're going to want to add your garlic. You cook about 1 more minute until the garlic is no longer raw. Next, you'll add your flour. You're going to want to stir this together. It'll form sort of a thickened paste, and then you want to cook that for about 1 minute just to cook the flour. Next, you'll add your chicken stock. Stir it together very well and get all the lumps out, and cook this over medium heat for approximately 10 minutes. While you're waiting for that 10 minutes to pass, go ahead and get your chicken pieces that you have and chop them roughly. You just want them into bite-sized pieces that you can put into your gravy. Put it in the gravy and allow it to cook with the gravy for the rest of that 10 minutes until that gravy is thickened. You're going to want to taste it before you put it on your food, so be sure you taste. I needed a little more salt and pepper in this myself, so I went ahead and added that at this time and gave it a stir. Once your potatoes are done, go ahead and mash them up. If you have a little water left in your Instapot, that often helps to smooth out the mashed potatoes, but if you need or want, you can add a little bit of milk to get that desired consistency. Then add 2 tablespoons of butter into the potatoes and mash together. If you boil on the stove, this would also be the time where you're going to add your salt and pepper and garlic as well. To serve this dish, put your potatoes on the plate, grab a nice ladle full of that wonderful gravy, and throw it right over the top. I served this with a side of roasted carrots and some fresh French bread that I had baked, and it turned out to be very delicious. It can come off a little bland if you don't season well, so taste often and adjust to your likings. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Take care.